Yo, what up? Mark here with another lit tbate chapter. Oh, I'm so glad the series is off hiatus. It has been nothing but satisfying. But before we get into it, I need y'all to hit that like button and that sub. Get your boy up in there trying to build my tbate community. Also, go follow me on X, link down in the description. Put it on the screen for y'all as well. Now let's get into it. So the chapter begins with Arthur going to go see his parents about what Ellie said about them possibly joining the war. So he goes in to talk to them and address them, and they say that, yeah, we're going to join the war. And Arthur can't really understand it. Quite frankly, neither can I, because me, I'm like, I know you guys are strong, but like, why? Like, y'all don't really necessarily need to get involved. Like, there are soldiers, there are adventurers, there are people that can get involved. You guys are like retired, like stay retired, right? But they reveal to Arthur about the attack that happened last chapter, where we see seemingly Helen gets attacked, but it turns out, as they tell Arthur, Adam is the one to get attacked. Adam dies, and it is really unfortunate. Adam, out of all the horns, is like probably the second most likable next to Jasmine. He's the leader of the group. It's really unfortunate that he passed away, and I've always thought like maybe him and Helen like had a little thing going on, so I can see him sacrificing his life to do that. But it is really unfortunate, and to Arthur's surprise, he's shocked. He can't believe it because he's saying like, "How? That's impossible. I cleared all the S rank, mutants out. Like there shouldn't be anything that could have killed them." And as we saw, the wall was hidden and got breached, and all of a sudden, an attack happened. And when they explained to Arthur, Arthur's just in complete shock, and Arthur's a guilt trippy guy, so he made himself feel pretty bad. And I love this angle, because it still shows that Arthur is not perfect. That Arthur has gotten really strong. He's been trained by gods and all this, everything else. But he still can make giant mistakes. And granted, this was a ploy by the other side, obviously. But I wonder if there's something that could have been done. And as Arthur's parents reveals, a lot of people died. So with that, it's still not enough to really explain why they want to join the war. Like, it is, but it also isn't. It's not like, they're necessarily hurting for a lot of people. Arthur's like, okay, but like, why do you guys still want to join? And they go into a deep story about a member of the Twin Horns that actually passed away before Arthur even existed. So this story is actually pretty good. I'll also say this character, I really like her. I'm so sad that she passed away. Yeah, I'll get to explain the story, right? But if she comes back later, oh, I'll be hyped, because I like her character, but hopefully she's not evil or anything like that. But let's talk about Lensa. So Lensa was a member of the Twin Horns. She was an augmenter and very talented, really straightforward, battle-y type. And what ended up basically happening is they got into a battle with some beasts that had stinkers and poisoned her and hurt a lot of the team. So when Alice arrived, she's like panicking to heal everybody and get everybody safe. And she ended up healing Lensa. And this is actually pretty damn scary too. I love this. This is such a good angle. Lensa got healed, her wounds sealed, but the poison within her stayed within her. And it ended up damaging her core to like basically permanent damage, where she couldn't basically fight anymore. When she got taken, I guess what you call a hospital, she couldn't be operated on because her wound was sealed. Had Alice left the wound open, they could have gotten the poison out of her and she could have healed properly. That's actually so scary when you think about healing, right? Because in a lot of different, stories and video games and everything, healing is like always like awesome for the most part, right? There's literally not too many drawbacks to healing. That is a very unique angle to take from healing. Like, oh, you're like, you basically sealed it up, but there's poison in you and you can't do anything about it. So, what ended up happening to Lensa, she basically went to a cave and never came back. It doesn't necessarily mean she's died, so she could pop back up later. But there's also a big chance that she's not, right? She might not be a big character for that. But I liked her character. Her facial expressions were goddamn hilarious. Really cool. Like, I loved her. So I'm sad that she died. I felt very connected to a character like her, like with just this little chapter, right? But with that being said, it basically explains why there's a bit of guilt there with Alice, and it was mainly her choice and not his father's choice. They basically want to go help the Twin Horns. So that basically explains everything why they want to go help the Twin Horns with the loss of Adam, and of course, Lensa. Alice feels guilty, so they're gonna help. And I'm not gonna lie, a thought came to me that I didn't really like when his father was kind of like giving them advice and telling them, that they can basically handle their own. Is that if there's a scenario where his parents get caught and they get used as bait, it would be catastrophic. Like, I would hate to see that. I like his parents a lot, even though I hated Arthur telling them the truth about like his identity and everything. And they even made a little joke here that was like, it was okay. But no, if they get used as bait at some point, that would be heartbreaking, especially for Ellie, who's going to be basically alone through this entire thing. Like, she's going to be on the side with Boo. I don't imagine she's going to join the war. I doubt they would let her, but. So the chapter continues with Varian entering, and it's basically the end with Varian letting them know that all the people from the attack on the cave are arriving. But yeah, we'll get to basically see the aftermath of the cave, Tess and the rest of the group. I know you like novel readers know what's gonna happen, but my predictions are, I can absolutely see somebody. I'm not gonna say Dervis, but I can see Dervis blaming Arthur for this entire thing. I can see Arthur being, blamed for this. One, because Arthur did clear out the entire dungeon. However, who's to say if he didn't do it, if it was done like a normal way, a normal raid way? They may have noticed the door, they may have noticed the wall. But with Arthur bringing so much attention on himself and clearing everything out, like they felt like, relaxed and they didn't need to have their guard up. That could be a big reason behind that. And I don't know how you guys, like novel readers, feel about that. And don't spoil me, but if something like that's gonna happen, it would suck. It would suck. It would definitely, further his guilt. Especially, with Arthur's importance to the army. It could also lower morale, right? I mean, they already got to feel pretty bad about this whole thing happening. But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the next chapter. So chapter is 7.5 out of 10. Pretty solid. Not anything too crazy. A little bit of fighting with the backstory, but I enjoyed the backstory. I enjoyed the backstory character Lensa, and it explains more about why his parents didn't join the war. So I'll see you guys this week, maybe Tuesday for a stream before Thursday's release. Join me, come chat with me about what's going on, how y'all feel about the chapter and the art. I personally liked it. I didn't feel anything about his parents' art, even though it's every week we see these people complaining. But I liked it. It seemed pretty cool to me. So yeah, I'll see you guys pretty soon. Like and sub. Peace.